We're talking about Conor's retirement. What we think he's gonna do, which I think is not retire. And if we think he's serious, I don't think he's serious.
No, he's not serious. It conveniently comes out that he's retiring from MMA the same day that the story breaks that he's getting investigated for sexual assault in Ireland.
It's a good reason to retire.
Like, come on, man.
I think
don't feed us the bullshit.
Well, I think the other thing was, too, is that I think Conor made it pretty clear he wants Diaz 3. And didn't Dana come out and say, we have no interest in doing that? And Conor knows.
I don't know that.
I think Dana came out and said, we don't have any interest in doing that at this time.
I think if Dana knew it was either retirement or Conor Diaz 3, he would in a heartbeat jump on Conor Diaz 3.
Well, okay. So then Conor retired because said, all right, Dana, you think you own the UFC. Let me walk my little Ireland ass right on out the door. And then when John Jones gets fucking drug tested for coke at UFC 239, we'll see who picks up the phone and gives me a little call.
Why the fuck would Dana
ring a ding a ding?
Well,
Johnny Jones has been coked out since fucking 2010.
Would Dana White care?
Yeah. Oh, Dana White cares fucking a whole food lot because Conor and fucking John Jones are the cash that's going in Dana's wallet.
They're his last two cash cows.
Yeah, well, one's fucking PEDs and coke, and the other one's getting investigated for sexual assault. So not looking good.
If the NFL's anything to show you, as Americans, we don't fucking care. If you put them on the screen, we're gonna fucking watch.
True.
Problem number 12.
To be honest with you, it's probably just gonna make their
Hispanic Arnold back at it again.
I can't do accents. I'm sorry.
I love Hispanic Arnold.
Arnaldo.
Well, Arnold's been on vacation in Spain. Took a little break from Austria.
Say some of his famous Terminator lines in Spanish. How do you say Chapo in Spanish?
Okay, we're moving on here. We're not going to look at
El Chapo.
It's an El Chapo.
What the?
Yeah, we're all going to be just murdered by him.
Yeah.
Cut.
We're going to cut that piece on out.
God.
What?
Oh, I'll leave your El Chapo line in there if you want me to.
I do.
So,
I'll first off, I didn't think it was serious when I first thought. If anything, before I even saw.
Just a toy.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought it was, because I think he feels his name, his brand is slowly, Thanos disappearing out of the ether, and he's like, what can I do to make people care about me?
Thanos is the one that snapped everybody else out of the ether.
He's making his brand disappear.
He's doing that to himself? When he just
he pretty much is doing it to himself. I'm saying, whatever.
In comparison.
We bought our Avengers tickets today. That's why it's on the mind for Bilfy.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Well, he's a cleaner. All I'm saying is, I think he wants to be like, I need to make a splash and generate more interest in me, so I'm just going to retire and make everybody bitch to Dana about giving me what I want. He's pulling Antonio Brown, pretty much. Kicking and screaming and crying until he gets what he wants.
Again, if the NFL's anything to show us, it's going to work.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think last time I said I thought fighting was beneath his brand. Like, he wants to do bigger, better things. Or if it is a fight, it's a big fucking ass fight. Right. On the level of him and Mayweather, which I don't even know how you get another fight like that. Maybe him and Silva,
John Jones.
Or John Jones. Yeah.
They would never fight each other.
But, UFC getting desperate, I'll tell you that. But,
there's like a 50-pound weight difference.
Biggest catch weight of all time.
Start chugging that problem number 12.
Wow.
Get that whiskey belly.
I don't even know what accent that is.
I don't know. I'll meet a long lost brother and be like, hey, we're related. Hey, we're related. I don't know.
No, please stop.
Whatever. All the thing is, he did it to drum up attention. If it drummed up enough, he would come back. If it didn't, he would just go off and make more champ rosé, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I don't take this seriously at all.
Yeah.
I think he's going to hold out probably for potentially Diaz 3. I think ultimately Conor probably wants Khabib again. I don't know why, because Khabib will probably take a poop on him again.
Because he lost.
But yeah, ultimately he lost, and obviously there was the whole spectacle that was the post fight. That happened after that. I I don't like the moves that these guys make to. I don't know. It just makes me feel like they think like the fans and people that like are actually like paying attention are stupid.
They
It's
are.
like we're not.
Most of them are.
Well, some of them. There's a good chunk that are, but it's like we're not stupid. Just fucking fight.
So I'm gonna tell you how stupid I think majority of the fans are. The ones that root for Conor are the same ones that chant USA whenever there's a non-American that's not Conor fights. That's how stupid I think majority of the fight fans are. USA, oh Conor, Conor. It's like, get out of here. There's no problem in rooting for a different country. You are anyway, but I don't know. Whatever. Well, to Ben's point on if this is a ploy to get what he wants, whether it be a fight or money, it is going to work because Dillashaw gets busted for PED, so he has to vacate his belt. There's one of your champs gone. I think Tony Ferguson also got slapped with some form of domestic abuse or
I didn't see anything.
Or some it has to do with him and his wife. I don't know if it was domestic abuse. It could have been he violated what's the thing?
Restraining order?
Restraining order, there you go. Something weird with him to the point where I don't think he's going to be fighting for the belt anytime soon. I mean, it's UFC, and it's not the UFC's fault. It's the fighter's fault that it's pretty much just crumbling before our eyes. But
right,
if Conor's really serious, Mr. Dana White is going to be muy desperado.
So, according to SB Nation, MMA Mania, they said that Conor retired after Dana White refused to offer him a piece of the organization.
More money, boom.
And as White so eloquently put it, Michael Jordan never owned a piece of the NBA. But when they asked Dana White if we should consider Conor McGregor retired, he said no. I think there's some things that Conor wants. I think that Conor wants to get together face-to-face, he and I. And we will in the next couple of weeks to get this thing figured out. He's stuck on this thing where he wants a piece of the ownership. I think there's other ways we can make him happy. Then they go on to say that Dana White said that the two biggest fights he thinks he could book for the UFC both include Conor. One would be if they can get Floyd to come over to MMA, and then a Conor Habib rematch. He said, really, the two biggest fights in the world right now are with Conor McGregor. So
really, only one of those is realistic, and that's Habib.
Yeah.
I think Habib would take a rematch in a heartbeat. What does he care? He already kicked his ass once.
Ironically, Floyd can't read, but he's not that stupid.
True.
Yeah, but he also likes the money.
Yeah, but Floyd is way too egotistical to come in there and get his ass kicked.
I don't think he likes it enough to jeopardize his name, his brand. I could be wrong. If he takes that fight, then I am wrong. He cares more about money.
Keep waiting long enough, and he's like 50, then he can pull the "well, I'm just old" card. And they could do something where like there's wrestling but no kicking, or some dumbass thing like that.
I don't give a shit what rule set restraints you put in there. If you get a mixed martial arts fight and put Floyd in there against Conor, Conor will mop the floor with him. The same way that Floyd did with him in a boxing match.
I don't think in the grand scheme of things, if Floyd did it, he would really care about losing. Because no one's going to be like, oh, Floyd's now 50-1. They would just be like, he lost his one MMA fight that we all know he just did to make $300 million.
Right.
In 20 minutes.
All I'm going to say is props to James Toney for going one-on-one with Randy Couture in the octagon. No caveats. But what we thought was going to happen did happen.
Yeah.
And what will happen unless they did caveats.
All that's going to happen is Floyd's going to be like, they're going to meet in the back. Hey, before we go out there, just give me an arm bar about 30 seconds in. I'll just tap and we'll just make all this money and we'll peace out. Like
people already paid for the pay-per-views. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck. Wow. So, yeah, I'm not surprised that the two biggest fights that they can have are both with Conor. But Conor's made it clear he has very minimal interest in fighting. It seems like anymore. So, unless it's a fan's phone.
He also doesn't want a co-main event. He wants to be the main event.
Right.
Shocker.
Yeah, that's why that was part of the reason I think I was reading that why talks with him and Cowboy fell apart.
Yeah, because he wanted to be a main event on a card where there was already a championship fight.
No.
And Dana told him that championship fights have to be main events.
No. And that's like a Donald doesn't. Cerrone gives no shits. He'll fight anybody any day, anytime. So, yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Conor. So
it does sound like that he wants something more after he signed a contract. I said it for Antonio Brown. I said it for my beloved Aaron Donald. When you sign a fucking contract, that is exactly your word. It is your pen on paper, and if you don't have your own damn word, what do you have? Give me a fucking break.
The other thing I think that gives Conor some more leeway is that we've talked about it enough on the podcast, but the ESPN Plus thing, Conor knows that UFC doesn't want to fuck this up. And ESPN Plus was like, we'll make this deal, but ESPN knows that Conor and Jones are the moneymakers just as much as everyone else does. So he knows that if he pulls away, ESPN right picked up the phone and called Dana and said, we just did this fucking deal. You better give him whatever the fuck he wants. Because we didn't buy you fucking UFC for Conor to not fight on ESPN Plus.
Maybe.
So
It does throw a extra wrench in there.
it just puts another party at the table
Yeah.
that wants viewership, and you have the number one guy in the UFC that brings viewership.
Yeah,
Ew,
number one
ew,
guy.
If it was on pay-per-view, it'd still have ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
That's
ESPN the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So now they have a seat at the table, and it's probably a very loudly voiced seat to get Conor back in the octagon.
When my fight, ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Unless John Jones starts fighting monthly, ESPN's going to want
Yeah.
Conor in there ASAP.
Yeah, John may do it, but he's going to ask for a hefty pay raise.
But
Well, he's going on when he fights at 239. When's that in July? June or July? He'll be at like 3 fights in the last 12 calendar months
Thiago
at
Santos.
least.
Yeah.
1, 2,
and then that
and
would
then
be
he
3.
fought- Who was the other guy he fought? Gustafsson.
Gustafsson.
Yeah, this would be his third.
So I think 3 in a calendar year is pretty. That's some swift fighting.
When we get there, we'll talk about that because I'm surprised he's fighting. Who can you name me who's fighting?
I have no
Exactly.
idea. But I can tell you why.
That's a bad example, but
I can tell you why he's fighting because they just signed a fucking big ass deal with ESPN Plus, and they said John Jones Conor better be getting some fights in here ASAP.
we don't want to waste him on his trash division. Who the fuck do you think we are? We were ESPN. They're nuts.
Yeah.
He's fighting.
Well, he had tweeted out that he wanted Stipe.
I would have much rather that happen, to be honest. I'm not saying Thiago Santos. Conversation for a different day.
True.
Conor McGregor didn't retire. We're going to see him.
Stipe will be coming.
Hope so.
It'll just be interesting to see how much, especially John Jones and Conor, get what they want with ESPN now. You have to think of it as essentially ESPN is now fully behind Conor and John Jones because
True.
they know that they're going to bring in the money.
Yes.
They have lost almost all of their. I don't think Lesnar thing's ever going to get done.
So
They
You
should.
literally have Jones and McGregor, and once you lose those two, you pretty much have no face for the UFC.
True.
So we'll see what happens. I think we all knew he would be back even before those came out. Those were like dated yesterday and today. So, but I think we all kind of knew that it was just a ploy to get what he wanted.
Yeah, I
And he
figured.
probably will.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.